Years ago, back in my younger days when I was just in 3rd grade, I was a little bit of a quirky kid. I liked black clothes and bugs, so you could say I was a little bit different. As such, I didn't have very many normal friends, and I was always on the lookout for other quirky friends. One day I came across a cool group of emo kids who were so funny and awesome. We talked for a few months and I really got close to one of them, named Elvira. Me and her would be best friends all through elementary school, but broke off during junior high before reuniting in high school. During math class in the first week of high school together, Elvira asked me if I wanted to come hang out with some of her friends at the old abandoned school parking lot. I would find out why I was abandoned sooner rather than later. I was eccentric and happily said yes. I went through the rest of the day with a pep in my step. That night, I walked to the hangout spot where I met her friends. Just like our group in elementary school, they were all quirky and funny and wholesome. After hanging out for several hours, one of the guys pulled out a dab pen. We were finna rip that shit. We started passing around the dab and get high as fuck to Lincoln Park. As I get high, I notice a strange tattoo on Elvira shaped like a goat with horns. I didn't think much of it. I really should have. As I get faded, I notice the discussion slowly gets stranger, talking about resurrecting some sort of evil figure, but I assume they just must mean a movie or a TV show. I wake her up in the morning and everyone is gone. I don't think much of it and head on home. It's a Sunday, so I spend the day jamming in my room to more Lincoln Park. It starts to storm outside. I start to get ready for bed at around 12:30 p.m. because I'm kind of a nocturnal beast. As I'm falling asleep, lightning strikes and illuminates my arm, revealing the same tattoo I saw on Elvira. I violently scream and claw my arm before I black out. In the morning, I wake up in a frenzy, but the symbol is gone from my arm. I guess it was all a dream. I go to school to be really cool and try to talk to Elvira in math again. Elvira seems on edge, but not like that. I keep trying to talk to her, but she ignores me the whole period. I go through the rest of my school day bummed the fuck out. I head on home along a lonely road, the only road that I've ever known. I fucking love Green Day. I get home and go straight to my room and pump up the volume on Lincoln Park. Through the noise, I hear my cell ringing. It was a Motorola Razr, still badass. As I pick up the phone, I realize it's Elvira. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, are you home?
Yeah, why?
I'm coming over.
Roughly 45 minutes later, I hear a knock on the door. I open the door. It's Elvira. She seems panicked and looks violently ill. She quickly comes inside and slams the door. I ask what's wrong, but she only seems to be muttering under her breath. I try to calm her with some Lincoln Park, but she is inconsolable, even to the extent that Chester Bennington can't calm her. Did something happen at home? I ask naively.
They're coming.
Keeps muttering over and over. Who are coming? She cuts me off mid-sentence and begins crying red tears. She looks at me and I feel like I'm about to violently vomit. I begin to hyperventilate, and Elvira starts viciously screaming more. The screaming causes her ears to bleed because it was so vicious, and she keeps screaming until her throat gave out. I hear a loud bang outside and then a rapid knocking on the door. The door bursts open, and before I know what's going on, I am hit on the head. I wake up tied to an old lamppost in the old abandoned school parking lot. My head hurts so bad that my vision is blurred. Before I even look around, I try to breathe and realize my mouth is covered with duct tape. I look around and see cloaked figures, all wearing black clothes except for one who wears a golden robe. I notice Elvira is also there, but she is tied to a table. The golden robe figure makes loud guttural noises, prompting the other cloaked figures to begin making the same noises, in a sort of hymn of some kind. The golden robe figure raises their hand to the sky, and a curved blade materializes. The figure walks over to Elvira and swiftly but surely stabs the knife into her, and makes the incision going from the pelvis to the frontal nape of the neck. The golden robe figure jabs his hand inside of her, and I start to hear a strange churning sound as blood spatters out of Elvira. The golden robe figure then thrusts his hand into Elvira's eye sockets and forces his fingers under to pry her eyeballs out. They then shove the eyeballs down Elvira's throat. Elvira begins to spasm on the table. The churning sounds get louder. Soon enough, the ground begins to shake and a dark cloud forms above us. The wind picks up and the cloaked figures' chants grow more strained. A few of the chanters begin to drop. Elvira begins to levitate above the ground and the chanters stop chanting and begin to cough and globalize. Elvira then spoke in a dark, evil figure-like voice. None of the cloaked figures are able to answer. All of them fall to their knees. Elvira picks up the golden robe figure by the throat. Her touch causes their flesh to decompose. Then she screams the same scream she did at my house. I noticed the same red tears flowing. This creature had been inside all along. The scream causes their fucking heads to explode. She then produces tendrils of blood out of her back, which grab all the remaining cloaked figures and begins to drag them under the ground. As Elvira looks at me, I feel my arm burning before I black out. Rather than waking up in hell where I belong, I wake up to a police officer shrugging my shoulder. He tells me that I've been missing for 3 days. They say so have almost 20 other individuals around my age. Even though I just had the worst trauma of my life, I am still a true LP soldier, so I begin blasting some Linkin Park. As I reach my arm out to turn on the radio, I see the symbol of the goat with horns on my arm. All of the trauma I just experienced unloads on me and I begin to cry. I wipe my tears, but my tears are red. Bum bum bum! Thank you guys for listening to our short story.
This is actually a true story. It really
yeah,
happened.
it really happened. We won't say who it happened to, but it is a true biography.
But
yeah.
we had to get this out just so we can get some recognition and so people can finally realize what's happening in our world.
If you guys just want more true stories like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what other kind of true stories you'd like to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guess we'll be heading out. Any last words?
No.